Hi everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Happy Friday to you. Quick look here again at ICP, see what's going on. We had a nice little surge yesterday with the price action running from 12 to 13.80, almost 14, a little over $14 rather. And then of course we got the price action pulling back to this local support here at about 13.25. Holding fairly strong. It looks like it's ready to rock and roll. So, based on yesterday's analysis, I was expecting the price to hit that level and bounce. Well, it hasn't bounced yet. It has hit that level, and we want to double check and confirm if this is worth taking a long or a short into. We got to recognize too that Bitcoin is breaking free from its bull flag pattern here that I posted earlier today here, just regarding the simple fact that it's looking pretty strong, held its 99.7, 99.6 support level, and more likelihood of filing further upside. So the question is, how well is ICP performing contrary or complementary to Bitcoin? We'll take a look at that as well. So if you are new to the channel, hit the like button, comment below if you get a chance. If you've been watching for a while, continue doing so. I really appreciate all the awesome support. We got some really cool ICP people in our community here. So deeply appreciate you. Thank you so much for making my life a better place. Let's take a look here, of course, at ICP. 7 days on the left-hand side. We can recognize that liquidation levels 14.25 to 15 is super heavy. Okay, folks are shorting this coin like crazy right now, and I get it too because ICP can be a volatile monster, and oftentimes when it tops out, it'll pull back pretty hard. But we don't know if the top is in yet, and perhaps even we don't even know if the bottom is in. So at this point, though, we just know there's a lot of liquidation there, implying the price could and should continue higher. But that's not a reason to take a trade. So take a look here. Liquidation delta, we're drawing dead, which is actually perfectly fine. This basically tells us that we have longs and shorts in the market right now, almost concurrently. In other words, we have just as much in either direction. So this is at that point of significant, I wouldn't say control, but we're at this point where, it's a make or break, right? It either breaks above or breaks below. So a lot of this, a lot of success here is going to be hinging on Bitcoin, I'm guessing. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at the comparison from, between Bitcoin and ICP. Okay. For right now, though, for open interest, just say local, we can recognize $13. Pretty heavy support there. That's concurrent with that support level I drew out on the charts yesterday. And that just reinforces the fact that a lot of people are pretty heavy at $13. We got secondary to that 1160, of course, but that's when the price was range bound before it took off. Okay. So that kind of gives us perspective here that this 1350, 1325, or just say round number $13, we got this 0.5 fib level here. This little area of support is so far so good. I think there's a good chance it's going to continue to hold. However, we want to look at a few things, and then we'll draw a correlation between the, Bitcoin and ICP. So when we take a look at the SMAs, we're still over the 20-day SMA. Again, maintaining $13 or higher I think is really important for this coin. We look at the RSI, 50 on the RSI. We're right smack dab there. In a perfect place, actually, right in that good little sweet spot for, overextension, so to speak, or sorry, not being overextended, and or just be considered a good situation. Okay, and what I mean by that is over 50, below 70. That's like that really nice sweet spot for the RSI. Same thing as well with the money flow index is above the price action. These are all generally favorable signs. Now, does this imply the price cannot pull down or back because we have a good daily time frame? No. In fact, that's almost all the more reason why the price should pull back. Just simply put, because the macro can look good for a long time until it doesn't. All right, and for right now, we're still in pretty decent shape. So I don't think we should scream to the high heavens until the price action closes under $13. And even at that point, it's natural capitulation, natural stuff that happens. We saw a pretty significant correction here recently with equilibrium at about $13. There's a lot of confirming factors why 13 is going to be that area of contention here. Okay, again, a lot of people are trying to or interested in buying there. We have the most amount of buying pressure there in the last 7 days. So that being said, where are we at in the 4 hour? Well, we're getting close to 50 on the RSI. All right, and this isn't naturally just like a pivot point. It's basically just an area kind of confluence, letting us know that we're on the right side of track still. While it's not perfect, I would love to see it much higher. That's still a good sign for the moment. Money flow index is high. This is a good sign too, implying that we have more money, more sustainability in this price point because of the fact that we have a lot of interest in this area. Okay, so again, money flow index being above the RSI is generally a favorable sign. If you look historically, anytime the RSI is below the money flow index and it's a bullish uptrend, you usually see further upside from there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the price action continue higher from here. But again, a lot of it hinges on if Bitcoin pulls back or continues higher too. MACD is diverging, losing its convergence. Stochastic is diverging. So At this point here, it's one of those weird little tricky places to trade. Like if you were to take a long right now, which makes sense, it's a sensible consideration for a long. Um, you want to make sure that your stop loss is kind of close or you don't go too heavy just because there's a bit of a drop off below the price action here. And if we do end up losing that support level, it could run to the downside. We are also looking like this is again, I'll post a playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, but we're starting to print a triangle pattern. Typically triangles that continue to retest these lower support levels are pretty bearish, okay? In other words, this does imply we could see further downside, but generally you're going to see a triangle that derives from the upside and it continues lower. So the truth is we may very well be in a type of wedge pattern here where the price action breaks to the upside soon. So it's really difficult to say, honestly. I don't really like trading these conditions here. But statistically, you are going to find more favor, the price going higher than lower, based on the fact that we are holding this support level and we have a lot of confirming factors in this range here. I mean, our local point of control is right there at the current price point. We're still technically above the cloud, even though the lagging span and the conversion line are kind of like within the price action. It's not like a good confirming factor. We still have one of the stronger indicators here letting us know we're on the right side of tracks. So again, this is all the more reason why losing this $13 range is going to be important, because just say Bitcoin starts to break bearish, we could very well see ICP, start to trickle down. And let's do this there. Last thing but not least, let's take a quick look at the Bitcoin chart and look at the comparison here for ICP. And again, sometimes I just do this at a glance here. I just kind of like to see the two coins and just kind of get perspective. So we can see this little bull flag type of pattern that just recently broke out here, of course, after looking at it earlier today. And we can recognize here with ICP, and the price action is not really looking so good compared to Bitcoin. It consistently makes parallel lows with lower highs, where Bitcoin is establishing lower highs, lower lows, and now essentially trying to create a higher high here. So price action for ICP isn't fantastic. There's no doubt about it. So if you do take a long position, just make sure that you watch it close. This is not a strong confirming situation for ICP, but you'd be buying at support and you have statistically slightly larger, more probabilities of the price going up than down because of that. Okay, so that's where we're at. I hope that makes sense. I described that correctly. I know it's not always a shoe-in. Not every time I analyze a coin, it's like, oh, this is an easy no-brainer. Like literally 95% of what I do is like indecision and not taking a trade, because that's what a good trader will do. They'll wait for the right opportunities. And it's okay. I've missed plenty of opportunities too, honestly. And this week, truth is, there's not a lot of opportunity at all. I mean, I know we're seeing some coins surge, of course, like SUI, cool, awesome, Jasmine, Ondo. Those are coins I plan to cover, but the whole point of me mentioning this is just that it's a weird week because we hit that big old reset button on Monday, and it's hard to want to just FOMO into something right now because we see the true power of how a small correction from Bitcoin could affect or impact altcoins. Okay, so just be careful. Trade with good risk tolerance. Okay, folks. No high leverage, low position size. That's probably the key. Okay. Awesome. I hope you learned something today. Thanks again so much for joining me here. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Oh, very last thing too. I'll post a playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, Discord. Check out Bitunix too. I get the question a lot. How does this work? The link down below, it explains everything. But the truth is there's no KYC or VPN exchange. They're phenomenal. They've been great to us as a community for the last year plus. And if you use my link to register, you're automatically eligible for any future bonuses or rewards. So, and they have that pretty much monthly now because we got a really good group in our community. Okay, just want to throw that out there. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you soon. Take care.